Hi, everybody. It's Jamie. I'm just testing the waters right now. I'm just seeing if I can figure out what I'm doing here on my channel. So I was just coming on for just a quick little live stream just to see if anybody comes in and we can do a little question and answer thing. And also, I want to announce that I'm no longer going to be on Twin Peaks Coffee Time. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, and I do care about those guys, and I wish them all the very best. But it's just I can't continue to do so many things at once, and I just think it's best for now if I just do my own thing. So anyway, we could talk about movies a little bit. I watched It recently. I watched both It 1 and 2, which I thought was excellent. The first one was definitely better than the second one, that's for sure. But I did enjoy them both, and I did like it better than the original miniseries that was on TV back in the 90s. I love Tim Curry's version of Pennywise, don't get me wrong, but um, I just think that, you know, the newer ones, maybe it's just I needed I wanted it to be more like the books, and it was. And I wanted a fresh perspective, on the book. So I think that the new movies work really well. And as far as remakes go, I think it's worth a watch. Um, DJ Donnelly asks what my favorite type of music is. I have very eclectic tastes, so I like different things. Like it depends on my mood. Sometimes I want to listen to heavy stuff, like Marilyn Manson or Rob Zombie or Korn. Um, Other times, or Tool, even Tool. I love Tool. I've always loved Tool ever since they first came out. So Tool is a big one with me. Um, Other times, when I'm in a more mellow mood or a fun mood, I call this the fun mood, I'll want to listen to pop music, like Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, um, just I don't know. I guess Justin Timberlake, definitely New Kids on the Block, because I will always love New Kids on the Block no matter what. I'm always gonna love them. Also Backstreet Boys. So other than that, country music is not my thing. I'm not really into country music all that much, although I do tend to buy at least one country album a decade. So this last decade, I haven't actually bought one, but the decade before that, I bought Taylor Swift. The decade before that, it was Shania Twain, and the decade before that, it was uh, shoot, what's his name? Can't even think of his name now. Anyway, so I don't really like country music all that much, but I do like classical music. If I want to listen to something like that, it's probably going to be Mozart, because Mozart he to me is the heavy metal of classical music. So I really really enjoy that. But I do have very eclectic tastes, and I like all kinds of different things. Rap, it's iffy. It depends on who it is. Like, I'm not so fond of the newer rappers, but older rappers I do like. Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, stuff like that, the older stuff. I'm not really so into this newer stuff that's out right now. I do like a few things though. Hi, Eric. Hi, Woody. I can't call you that, honey. Um, Anybody got any questions for me about movies? Because I would definitely like to talk about movies and television. What else have I watched lately? Oh, I saw this movie called Scare Me on Shudder, and it was so good. It's not what you'd expect. It's not really scary. It is two strangers who meet, and then they challenge each other, because they're both writers, to tell scary stories for the night, because they get trapped in uh, a power outage. And it turns out really good, and I loved the twist ending. it was really good. So I highly recommend seeing Scare Me for this season. Let's see, what else have I seen? I saw this horror movie anthology. I think it was called Tales of Halloween, but I'm not sure. It was okay. It wasn't as good as some of the other ones. Like, it's definitely not as good as Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat is so good that it's going to be hard for a movie to measure up to that. My top Halloween season movies. Okay. Let's see. Trick or Treat is definitely on that list because I think it's something that you should watch every single Halloween. It just embodies the spirit of Halloween, and I really really like that about it. Another one I think that people should watch at Halloween is Halloween 3 because in Season of the Witch, because it's got that Halloween spirit to it, and it's not the greatest movies, but it's a good one, and it definitely has that it's the John Carpenter aspect to it, which I really 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 like. Do I like Stir of Echoes? Oh yeah, I love Stir of Echoes. I love almost anything Kevin Bacon does except for Tremors. Sorry, Kevin Bacon. I just really don't like Tremors very, very much. It's not my favorite of his movies, but I do like the other stuff he's done, and that one actually might be my favorite of all his movies. I do try to watch that one whenever I see it on or whenever I can. I think that if it's available for rent right now, or even just to stream, I'll probably watch it for the Halloween season because it definitely has that feel. It has that Halloween feel that I like so much. Um, let's see, what other movies for Halloween. Um, I like to watch things like Friday the 13th. I just got, all 8 discs. No, I did not get the box set. I have not pre-ordered the box set. I didn't get the box set because, well, usually because I like to wait. I like to wait until things, maybe go down in price a little bit. Plus, I'm actually really glad because I guess there's a lot of people that are having a lot of trouble with their box sets. So I'm kind of glad I didn't spend the money on it because I probably would be mad if there was a mistake in my box set. So right now I just have the 8 disc set, but that's good enough for me. I can buy Jason X and I can buy Freddy versus Jason on a different format. So I'm fine with that. But I recommend watching Friday the 13th for Halloween movie because it's, especially the first one, it embodies the spirit of horror that I love so much at this time of year. And wow, this time of year, I got to tell you, the leaves changing in this town right now is just, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. If you guys live where the leaves change, it's gorgeous. I just love this time of year so much. It's probably my favorite season, which I really really love. Oh, you watched Stir of Echoes a couple nights ago. It's really good. My best and worst memories about Halloween, not the movie, but the actual holiday. Okay. Um, my best is definitely going to see Friday the 13th, part 5, which is not my favorite of the series, to be honest. But um, I went and saw Friday the 13th, part 5 on Halloween. And then went to a haunted house after with my babysitters because I was only 11 at the time. And it was fun. And it's something I will never forget because every single seat was packed and people were rowdy and they were throwing stuff. Popcorn was going everywhere. People were screaming. And even though I was disappointed with the actual, end of the movie itself, I still consider that to be the best movie experience I've ever had in my entire life. I enjoyed it greatly. Um, Worst Halloween. Gosh, that's a tough one. I don't know if I've really had a bad Halloween. Um, I don't know. I don't think I've really had a bad Halloween. I suppose we could say ever since I moved out here, because we don't get trick or treaters out here in the sticks. I live so far out in the sticks that people don't, you know, they don't trick or treat. And I miss that. I miss that whole, all the kids walking down the street in their costumes. And I used to sit out on the porch with a bowl of candy, and they'd come up and, they'd get there. I'd see their costumes, and I do miss that. I miss that a lot. So that's probably the worst part about Halloween for me now, because I don't get to really celebrate it the way that I want to. I don't get to see it. Jason Lives Friday the 13th Part 6. I absolutely love it. I love it. That is one of my favorite in the series. I can't remember the guy who plays Tommy in that, but he also is in Return of the Living Dead, I think. And I really like that actor. He's really good. I actually think that the cinematography for 6 is excellent. It's been a long time since I saw 6, so I might have to sit down, because I got there's a whole month of October, so I'll be watching horror movies all month long, and I'll be coming on here quite a bit more. Yes, that's it, Tom Matthews. Thank you. I'll be coming on here on my own channel quite a bit more to talk about, movies and stuff that I'm watching and things that I'm doing. I'll be doing my own vlogs. I've already started doing that a little bit with my little videos when I'm out on my walks and out on the cart and stuff like that. I probably will do, some movie reviews, and I'm still obviously going to be on Region Free. Go sub. We're awesome. It's fun. And I'll be doing my own stuff over here. So I'll probably be doing a review of the Friday the 13th movies, because I definitely plan on watching them. I've been itching to start sticking them in my PlayStation so that I can watch them and re-enjoy them. I've seen the first one thousands of times. I mean, thousands. It was the first horror movie I ever watched at home. And I'm definitely, looking forward to rewatching them all and reliving that stuff. So more Halloween movies. Let's see. Definitely the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Maybe 3 also, because I really like to do Nightmare on Elm Street 1, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and then the new Nightmare. That to me is a perfect trilogy. Although I love 2, I don't consider it part of the, part of it, that whole Nancy. I like the Nancy trilogy. So 2 is separate on its own, but I love that one. Don't get me wrong. I think 2 is awesome. It's a really good film, and it doesn't get enough credit, if you ask me. But also, I think that The Fog, the original, is another good one for Halloween time. Event Horizon is another one that I would like to watch every Halloween. That is one of my favorite movies of all time, because it's so scary and yet it's so pretty. it's a gorgeously shot movie with gorgeous color, and I like that. I like gore. So I actually really, really love Event Horizon. Ginger Snaps and Cherry Falls. Those 2 movies to me are special, because the very first Halloween that I didn't go out, that I was pregnant and I couldn't go out and do anything, I was home. I sat down and I watched Ginger Snaps and Cherry Falls for the first time ever. And I fell in love with those 2 films. So now for me, they really scream Halloween. They scream fall. They scream that feeling to me. So I really, really like to watch those every Halloween. There's 3 that I watch every Halloween. Those 2 and Trick or Treat. I make sure I watch them every single year because they're my favorites. Um, let's see. I'm trying to go like in order from decade to decade. Of course the Scream movies are good. I mean, I'm never ever going to tell you not to watch Scream because I really, really like the Scream movies, especially the first 3. 4 was all right. I didn't mind it. And I'm really happy that 5's coming out and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it, especially after hearing all the rumors. And I'm really looking forward to it. But a lot of people don't like Scream, but I do. I think it's special. I think it's unique. I think it has a lot of things in it that people don't give them credit for. Like, how many movies can you count where 3 main characters live through all of them? It's just virtually unheard of. So to me, the Scream movies are awesome because of that, and also because um, especially with the first one, it terrified me because that costume could be bought at any drugstore in the country back then. And so seeing these people in this costume that was so like this $10 costume you could buy at like Rite Aid, knowing that they were, killing their friends, it was scary to me. It made me think, whoa, what one of my friends might put that costume on and decide to go on a murder spree. So I got terrified by it. Let me get a drink here. Silver Bullet. I love Silver Bullet. It's not my favorite werewolf movie, but I do like that one. It's been a while since I've seen it. I have recently read the story within the last 5 years because Scott got me a bunch of books, Stephen King books at a garage sale and brought them home, and one of them had it in it. And so I got to read it, which I was very excited about. But Silver Bullet is a good one, but I prefer The Howling, and I will watch The Howling this year, too, because I did just get a double feature disc with The Fog and The Howling. So I figure one of these nights during this month, I'll be watching that too. I'm planning on opening up every single horror DVD and Blu-ray I have in my house and trying to watch them all during October because I have quite a few. I have been collecting some DVDs over the last decade or so. I just don't collect them like crazy like some people do. But I do buy the ones that I truly truly love. So I will watch those. Cycle of the Werewolf. Yeah, that's the name of the story. That's right. If I remember right. Yeah. It is good. It's a good one. And I really really liked Silver Bullet. I thought that Corey Haim was pretty cute in it. That's back when he was really little and he was cute. I used to have posters of him all over my wall. Other than that, I don't know. Let's see. I could give you just the basic stuff, watch like The Grudge and The Ring and Hostel and Saw. Of course, Saw. Hostel, I tried to like that. I really did, but it's just so brutal. It's so horrible. The concept to me is just so horrible that I can't enjoy it. And it took me a really long time to watch Saw for the same reason. I didn't realize Saw was going to be so good. I thought it was just mostly going to be gore, like a gore fest, and my friend Heather tells me, no, you're missing out. You need to watch Saw. So finally I did sit down and watch Saw, and I was really glad because I didn't realize it was so good. I was expecting the whole thing to be about cutting the foot off, and it really, really wasn't. It really wasn't that like that at all. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't watch the Hostel movies, but you guys can if you like. What do you guys suggest? Do you guys in the chat have any suggestions for Halloween movies? Because I'd like to hear what you guys like to watch at Halloween too. I said this wasn't going to be a very long one because it's my first one ever, and I'm assuming there aren't very many people in here. I don't have it open so that I can see because, like I said, this is like a trial run. I've never gone live on my own channel before. I've never done all this stuff on my own, so it's new for me, and I'm a little bit nervous about it. But I'm looking forward to getting things started on this channel, and I hope that I hope it goes well. I mean, I don't care so much about views or anything like that. It's more I just want to share the things that I love with people. And that's why you'll see these dumb little videos on my channel of me finding like, toy cars in the woods and stuff like that, because or like the tiny apple video. It's because that's me. That's me being me, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to be me. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping that this goes well, and I'm hoping all of you stick around because I'm gonna need you guys to help me keep this going. Attack of the Lederhosen Zombies. Oh, you keep on telling me to watch that, and I'm just not. I'm not into that. I know you like it. I'll watch it if you'll watch it with me. I'll watch it. Okay. Cemetery Man is awesome. Yes, Tony. Cemetery Man is so good. I haven't seen that in forever, but it's so good. I remember that. Isn't like that considered like the last Giallo film ever made? A watch along? Yeah, I could do a watch along. That would be fun. I actually would enjoy that quite a bit. But I'd rather, I think, experiment with watch alongs with other people first so that I get a feel for it. Plus, I won't want to do it all alone. I want to have a guest on here or something. IE. What's IE, Tony? I'm at a loss for what IE is. What is it? I'm kind of nervous, so my brain probably isn't working. Inland Empire. Oh God. Do you always watch that at Halloween? I can see why. It is kind of a horror movie. I mean, it's not pretty. I watched that recently, and because Cameron sent me a link to it, and I watched the whole thing, and I was like, I want to understand it, and I want to like it, and I want to solve the puzzle, but it is so hard to watch because it's not pretty. It's not good to look at. Hi, Mark. Yeah, I know. I haven't been in MR in a long time. I felt chased out of there because I don't necessarily have the same political stance as everyone in there at the moment. And I'm a little more of the centrist side, and people kept talking badly about centrists all the time. So it made me feel intimidated, but I do still watch it. I just don't go in there and, do the live chatting so much anymore. I was really sad when Michael died. That was, what a tragedy. I couldn't believe it. I mean, what a shame. What a loss to the progressive world too. Just unbelievable. The Fun House is good. I really, really like that. Phantasm House. I haven't even thought about that in forever. I remember the most thing I remember about House is that it has the guy from Greatest American Hero in it. And also Carrie. He's in Carrie. I can't think of his name. William Catt. That's it. Yeah, he's good. I remember that. I saw that at the theater back in the 80s. And my brothers liked that a little bit more than I did, I think. I was more into the Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff back then. Lady in White. I don't know that one. I'm going to have to check into that. Oh yeah, you're right, Tony. It does have that old school horror look to it. But he did the whole thing on digital, and I get it. He wanted to play with it and practice it. And it's just that it's not, he just made it so drab. And I mean, there are colorful parts, but are those colorful parts actually reality, or are those just part of the film in the film? It's so confusing. I have a hard time following along. Oh yeah, they called you a boomer? Oh god. Well, I'm not a boomer, I'm a Gen X. So, I if they called me a boomer, I'd be upset. Aw, they shouldn't call you a boomer. That's not nice. ABCs of Death. Is that like one of those Faces of Death kind of movies where they've got like a mixture of real and fake death scenes and stuff in it? If it is, I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never actually sat down and watched one of those, because even with the fact that my boyfriend in high school, his parents had a video store, and we went in there and we watched just about everything on the shelves, I skipped those. I just really, really didn't like it. Oh, you're 72? Oh, jeez. That's even worse for them to be calling you a boomer then. They should be respectful. I learned to respect my elders. ABCs of Death. No, I don't know about that one, DJ. I don't think I have seen that. Um, hmm. If you want to know about stuff that I'd like from the last decade, Sinister 1 and Sinister 2. I absolutely love those movies. I think they're genius. I think that they should make more of those. I think he's a perfect monster. He if you want to go for like universal monsters, the classics like Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman. Um, I think the ghoul, Bagul from Sinister fits in very well as one of those types of monsters. So really, Sinister to me is like a monster movie. Even though it's not the monster directly doing the damage, he's still influencing the damage being done. So I actually really, really like it. And I recommend those two movies to everyone at Halloween time, because they're so good and so scary. And if you are a parent, it'll really get to you because it really, really got to me. Oh, Sam wrote to you? Oh, that's really nice. Michael wrote to me once too, because I stopped paying for the Patreon, and he wrote and he said, "Is there something wrong?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 no. It had nothing to do with him. It was just that the credit card ran out and I just forgot to redo it. So I ended up, redoing it after, but I thought it was funny that Michael was upset and wrote to me and asked me what was wrong. He was afraid that he said something wrong. I thought that was cute. What a shame. Combat vet, not Dodger. um, Other than that, let's see. Hellfest. Hellfest screams Halloween. It feels like Halloween. I mean, basically it's about, kids going to one of those, like Knott's Berry Farm kind of places, Knott's Scary Farm, actually, which I always have wanted to do my whole life. I definitely think that Hellfest, I'm glad. I think they're making more of them. And I really, really want to see more of those, because that killer interests me. He's different. Finding out at the end, I don't want to tell you what the end is, but there's a really good twist after the credits. And I think that it's what really made the movie terrifying for me. So I definitely recommend Hellfest to everybody, especially at this time of year, because it screams Halloween. The whole thing is black and orange. I just absolutely love it. It's awesome. Um, oh gosh, this last decade has been so dry with horror. I really can't think of anything else from the last decade that I mean, the Insidious movies are okay. The Conjuring movies are all right. I have not seen one Annabelle movie. I watched part of the first one and that was it. I just couldn't get into it. It's it disturbs me, but it's also, I feel it's stupid because I guess the fact that the doll they're using doesn't look like the actual Annabelle doll, who is an actual Raggedy Ann doll, I just don't I just don't like that. I don't like that aspect of it. It seems like too showy and like they're trying too hard. Um I will give it a chance eventually. I'll eventually sit down and watch them and I'll give it a chance, but probably not to enjoy them, more likely just to know what I'm talking about and to, educate myself because I like to know what I'm talking about, especially if I'm going to be on the show. If I'm going to be on Region Free with those guys, I got to hold a candle to them, and they're really smart. Those guys, they know their stuff, and I, I'm so glad that they decided to feel like I know my stuff. I'm really, really happy about that. I'm glad to be a part of their group. Hey, Big D, thanks. Thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. I'll be on here a lot more often now. So I'm looking forward to talking to you guys. Hopefully, I'll be doing these Sunday nights. I'm not sure if I'm going to do them weekly or if they'll just be random. I haven't really sat down and made a full plan yet, but I will. And you guys will get notified when I go live. So it'll be awesome. Does anybody have any last minute questions before I go? It's kind of hot in here, and I only said I was going to be on for a little bit just because I'm just testing the waters. I'm just trying to figure out all the details about how to work with the program, and this is all new for me, so it's kind of nerve-wracking. But if you have any questions, last minute questions, get them in before I decide to take off, because I'm going to go watch some scary movies, I think. Talking about Friday the 13th kind of made me want to watch them. Also, I did pick up the Halloween 1 and 2 Rob Zombie films because I'm going to be doing a in-depth review of these for Region Free, for the next Region Free. Movie that I love that others hate. Hi, Christian. Let's see, movies that I love that others hate. Well, obviously, The Exorcist 2. People do not like that movie, but I don't understand why. I think it's a gorgeous mess. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous to look at. The cinematography is excellent. The sound is excellent. I mean, yeah, so it's not got the greatest storyline. I don't care. I don't care. I like the visual aspect of that movie so much that it really doesn't matter to me that it's kind of stupid in its plot. I really, it's just so pretty. And there's so many different interesting visuals in it that I just love it. Amityville 2 is another movie that I love that a lot of people don't talk about. I'm not sure if they hate it because I don't think people hate Amityville 2. But I do. I have a special love for that movie that that most people probably don't have. But I do recommend it to people. I do recommend watching the Amityville Horror 2, The Possession, because it is an excellent movie. It has great cinematography and excellent acting. And even though it's disturbing, it is based on the second book, and I think it's worth a watch. Movies that I love that others hate. Darn, I just thought of one and then it slipped out my mind. I cannot recall what I was just thinking of. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to get going now. It's kind of hot in here. And like I said, I just wanted to do a short little introduction video. Clueless. You think people hate Clueless? Nobody hates Clueless. Who hates Clueless? Who hates Paul Rudd? Paul Rudd is a god. Paul Rudd is a god, even in Halloween 6, which he's terrible in, but I don't care. I like it anyway. Exorcist 3 is so good. I mean, so good. I have never read the book. I should read the book. I actually really want to get that book now, come to think of it. Um, but it is good, and George C. Scott is awesome, awesome in it. And I also think that it's got some stuff in it that has influenced other things. For example, the nurse with the red sweater. She was definitely the model for the nurse in the red sweater in the Silent Hill game. Also, um, oh my gosh, my brain just keeps, I'm just too tired tonight, I think. My brain just goes blank. I get one thing out and then I forget what I was going to say next. So sorry about that, you guys. I'll get better at that, I promise. It's kind of hard too for me right now, being all by myself and having to talk about myself because I'm really not used to that. I'm used to having co-hosts. So Paul Rudd is a good Ant-Man. I just put up a thing on my Facebook page with Paul Rudd just dancing, like tons and tons of Paul Rudd dancing. So you better go check that out, Eric. It's really funny. I really enjoy it. It makes me smile. So, but yes, I am going to get going now. So, you guys take care and we'll see you next time. Bye.